know. I'm so fast with those stuff. Good morning, everybody. I'm at Parcaut with Mike Kelly here, Real Estate Jerky Daily. It is Wednesday. Damn, this week is going by fast when you don't really work Monday.
It is.
You don't remember yesterday because you're so drunk on your birthday.
I don't think I got drunk. In fact, I know I didn't. I was a pretty good boy.
Good.
Yeah, no reason to really get drunk.
Well, let's see. What's the news today? Big thing. Supposedly there's a ceasefire for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
To work out some stuff like, whether or not they're going to impeach the president and all that because of his words.
Oh, the fuck?
No, the going to bomb him back to the Stone Age or destroy it, kill everybody in the civilization.
Give me a break, you heartless
Well,
bastards.
sometimes you got to act crazy. You get people to do things.
Exactly.
And
wait, this guy's pissed off.
This guy's crazy.
We don't know what he's going to do. Maybe we should just stop and talk.
Well, when you're dealing with somebody like, and everybody's going, okay, we're done. There's supposed to be real estate. Well, it's going to get there in a second.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with somebody who is crazy, you have to have crazy to compete with them. You can't be nice. And so we have that. So let's just move on to what's going on.
It's a paradigm shift.
Yeah. So Dow is up like over 1,000 points right now, like 1,100. And I'll go through this and I'll let you do your real estate afterwards.
Cool.
The 10-year sitting at 4.26. That's really good because it was really high yesterday and the day before.
Yeah.
And then we're up 44 basis. I'm sorry, we're better 44 basis points on rates today. That's the big thing. That's the big number right there.
Yeah.
Because I think oil was getting down to like 91 earlier and then it went up to 97. I don't know where it's at, but we'll see what happens over the next 2 weeks. We won't get another real move until this 2-week period is over and it's for sure a ceasefire.
Hey, what's your thoughts on sellers saying, you know what, I'm not going to offer compensation to the buyer's agent, broker? Don't you think that most buyers are just going to say, well, gosh, I don't have an infinite amount of cash in my reserves to be able to do this, but if you're going to force me to pay my broker and the broker should be paid, let's just take it off the price.
Yeah.
What are you going to, and let's take it off the price plus some. So where are you going to seller, where are you going to net better?
Well, I think that one company out there that does that.
Yeah. Yeah, they use that as their listing,
we're just going to list
platform.
We're listing you, and we don't care about what the buyer does.
Right.
That is the worst thing you can do. Worse. That's not like my mom.
That's a guy who subscribes to the book he gave me a long time ago, Winning Through Intimidation. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. You're going to sit on the market a little bit longer. Well, but hey, other things are available, and other people are a little more realistic.
Well, that's what's happening now. Some people are able to do that in certain markets, maybe a seller's market. We definitely are not really, we're kind of in a weird market right now.
Yeah.
It's not really a buyer's market. It's not really a seller's
market,
but let's work together to get this thing done. And I've saw that a lot up in Tuolumne County for a while there, and I haven't seen much lately.
No, it's only smart business sense on the seller's part to offer compensation as an enticement for someone to show your property. I think the agent should probably put it in the comments. Seller not going to participate in the broker compensation to the buyer's agent, and unless that's a violation of rules, which was stupid, it shouldn't be. But that's what got us in trouble in the first place.
Well, why they're not going to do that, because nobody will come look at their property.
Well, exactly. And in by the way, at the very last of talking for a while, seller's not willing to pay your commission. Okay, well,
my buyer's not willing to write an offer.
Yeah, my buyer will, but it's going to be at the expense of the seller. Sorry, just the way it's going to be. But here's the numbers. I just had to.
You don't want to keep going on that?
I don't want to.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. 661 active properties on the market.
That's really not moving much.
Stanislaus County. No, it's hanging out in the sixes.
But the pending's still showing higher.
They're strong.
Yeah.
They're strong. And then our closings, 808 through this week. And that puts us about 248.
That three and a quarter.
3.25.
To what?
248.
So we went down.
Yeah.
Let's see how that works.
I know.
We don't want to do the 0.25s or 0.5s, or we just want to do really into the month numbers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it does go down when you don't have an exponential increase in closings. But, hey, what can you do when you still have demand and you don't have a lot of supply? They don't have much to choose from.
There isn't. And so whenever anything comes on, they're going to jump on if it's a good house.
Yeah.
All right. So last week I had for like 2 weeks, we had this drama on this property up in Tuolumne County that my clients got into contract on. And there was a thing that came over after they did the contract saying that they had to sign this thing, whether they were affordable housing, whether they, and within that, where they had to qualify, only make so much, but then the people on title and the thing was going to stay on the property for 30 years. Right. It's this new foreclosure thing that these nonprofit companies, which is you have a for-profit owning a nonprofit, and then they're buying these things at the steps,
right,
or wherever they're buying them, and they're getting them cheaper because they're a nonprofit. Well, then they put it on the market.
They're putting a deed restriction on it, right?
Correct, for 30 years that says going forward, anybody who buys it has to be within the affordable housing area, or a seller who buys it has to rent it to affordable housing. Well, I had escrow look into it, and they came back, great news, this is not it. Well, the problem was that was an escrow assistant, which is my problem. When you need big things like this looked at, have it looked at by escrow officers and the main people in the company.
Yeah, and title
main people. Well, they did supposedly.
Okay.
Oh, this is a normal verbiage. It comes off, blah, blah, blah. But the problem was they sent me that same letter I found in the beginning that said everything. The new deed of trust restrictions going forward is going to be this, this, and this, and this. Well, these people, when they put it on the market, and the escrow officer, the listing agent, didn't put in that information in there because they wanted everybody to write offers on it and then deal with it later.
Yeah, but you can't deal with it later.
No, because it ended up going back and forth, and I kept pushing the issue. So I pushed it to my underwriter, and I knew that would cause a major problem. Then they would have to make sure that this wasn't going to be, and then in the contract I received, the 32nd page was that letter signed by the seller, but not by my buyers.
Okay.
On the lender side, just
right.
So people
I got
know.
you. Yeah.
I know, but I want to make sure. And so it came back, and they want to know how that's going to affect this thing that they said is not going to affect the stuff. And I went back to the escrow officer, and she said, okay, well, I'll check. Came back. This thing is attached to this property for 30 years. Yeah. Like I said, from day one. Yeah. And so my buyers canceled because nobody wants that deed restriction on their property for 30 or more years. That's what it says. 30 or more years.
Yeah. What does the or more mean?
So be careful out there with writing offers on properties that were foreclosed on, and these companies are nonprofits and they're selling them. You're going to have a deed restriction that you don't want.
And listing agents, if you see a prelim, you see the deed restriction, put it in the multiple listing
even if they didn't have
talk about it up front.
Yeah, but with the way you can go online with the different companies like First American, you can go in there and search the property profile. It was there. It showed what had been recorded. You can click on it now, and it pulls it up, and you can read everything. Because what happens is I get a lot of people who are buying other properties, and their current property is paid off. The easiest way is I go there, download the not the deed, but the thing, the reconveyance.
The reconveyance,
and then I have everything I need, and I don't have to
fiddle fart around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's what we running into.
Fiddle fart is technical terms.
I got that. I understood that. So what we're seeing today is the fact that the market's doing much better because of the ceasefire. I'm not going to go through all the 10 points because that's supposedly Iran's asking for, because that's not what the show's about.
Is there any real estate points in there?
No.
Okay.
No. Oh yeah, that they have to pay back for all what they destroyed.
No, we're not going to do that.
Well, let me do a few. That's why they didn't do bridges and electrical things, because we probably would have had a game back in.
Yeah.
Everybody's waiting on PCE tomorrow.
What is it going to say? What do you think?
It's probably going to show that we're up a little bit in inflation, but nothing major. But it's really the next one.
Yeah.
So they're expecting it to stay at 2.8% or dip to 2.7%. They're doing work, I guess, out there. That's what it sounds like. Sound like they were bombing us.
Oh, you've got people across the street are having their pool tile cleaned.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I don't know why you need.
So they got their glass blower for the sandblaster or the glass.
Is that how you clean the tiles?
Little glass beads. Then they vacuum them all up and they drive away, and your tile's clean.
Yeah. Let's see. So Mortgage Bankers Association released application data for last week. Okay. It was very mixed. Rates fell from 6.57 to 6.51. Woo! Purchase applications rose 1% on the week, but Purchases are still down 7% year over year. Refinances fell 3%, and they're now down 4% year over year. Remember when we used to be 100 and something and 200?
Yeah.
So we need rates to improve for things to turn around. And we kind of had that a little bit today, but we've lost so much in the last 2 weeks that it's going to take a couple of weeks to get better.
Yeah. And once this Iraq thing is gone, I know it's not Iraq, but I like saying that because of Stevie Wonder. It's in a song.
Iran, Iraq is in a song.
Yeah.
I don't remember. How would he know? He doesn't, he can't.
Well, he can't see them, but I mean, he could read about it.
Was he just telling them?
His fingers.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha.
Anyway,
I have a bunch of housing stuff, but we'll deal with that.
No,
on the
do
radio. No, I don't want to.
No, you don't want to?
We're already been 10 minutes into this talking about stuff.
Oh,
because I mean, you're looking at people are wondering where rates are going to be. Are we going to be stuck at the 6.5 for a while? Yeah, for a couple weeks till maybe a month, and then once we'll see what happens after that. It all depends on how the ceasefire goes.
You know what April ceasefires bring? May interest rates are better.
Is that what it is? Oh, that was so funny. You must have worked all night on that.
I worked all 12 seconds on that one.
You might want to work long.
Yeah, I don't know.
And that's pretty much all their major news. I mean, how, the housing in California is just, we're not building enough.
And
we're building some.
We haven't been for year after year after year after year.
And it's, if one housing tract has to offer $25,000 to use their lender, the question really is, how bad's that lender? And the second question is, why do they have to do that when all the other ones are not?
Yeah. And what really is the interest rate going to be? Is it a 2-1 buy down? Are they doing a 2-1 buy down, a 1-1 buy down? Or are they just buying the rate completely down?
They don't sell it that way.
Yeah.
When you go into the design center, you'll have $25,000 for your choices for upgrades.
Could be upgrades.
Yes.
I'm going to go to GE Monogram.
Yeah, that's right. For another $25,000. Yeah. The question is how much? Oh, that upgrades $1,000.
Can we do some more of those upgrades?
Okay. Well, we have just regular tile in here. Well, for granite, that is a $10,000 upgrade. Yeah. But the granite only costs $2,000. I know, but we have to pay our
fabricate it.
We have to pay our people to sit around and do nothing for months. So
exactly. So
I'm just kidding.
All right.
Make it a great day. We'll be back tomorrow. Again, hopefully we continue on and rates continue to go down. Somebody did a comment about how you just have to forget about the noise every day and just focus on what you're supposed to do. Truly, that's what you need to do.
Yep.
But you also need to know what the noise is out there so that if you're doing something right now and you need to lock or your clients are like, oh, well, I don't want to buy because what's going on. Well, right now it's a good time to buy. Plus UWM just offered another 50 basis points off.
Wow.
For 5 days to do for purchases only.
Wow.
Because they want more purchases, of course.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, so do I.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
I don't know.
I do.
Somebody not working in the business?
That one retiree he's a LIFRO, a listing referral agent only. All right. Make it a great day, guys.
All right. Thanks for being here, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.